At the John Daly Major Ed Foundation, we also focus on making sure that we partner up with great organizations. Great organizations like St. Jude's, great organizations like the Boys and Girls Club, our friends at Warriors for Freedom, our friends at Force 50 Foundation, which provides veterans the health care that they need. As you can see, we are the safety net at the John Daly Major Ed Foundation to make sure that no one gets left behind on the field of battle and that you're taken care of in the home front. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Hoorah!
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
To help me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
And welcome back to Big's Golf Talk, BGT TV. And, you know, in the last segment, we were talking a little bit about behaviors and fans and all that stuff. There's a serious epidemic when it comes to behavior and fans. And this is in all sports. Golf, we're seeing it where, you know, adults are taking, you know, golf balls, you know, I mean, and autographs. You know how many autographs I have? I don't have anybody's. I do have a couple, only because they were pre-autographed, and she was there, and got an autograph hat from Stacey Lewis, things like that. But I don't set out myself and bug guys for autographs and things like that. I've been around it all my life with celebrities, and so it's a signature on a piece of paper, a signature on a hat, whatever case might be. Leave that for the kids.
Yeah.
Leave that for the kids, But let's talk a little bit about behavior. Bill Cuevas, last week, I was on the news on KOB4 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and talking about an incident that took place at a high school. Are you familiar with that incident?
Yes, I'm very familiar with that incident. I saw that. How about you? What do you think about it?
Well, this is how I see it. And obviously very familiar with the incident, very familiar with what happened. But I will tell you this, to every single fan that attends your kids' sporting events, high school, little league, U-Trip, wherever it might be, travel ball, just enjoy the game. There is no sense to attack umpires, whether their calls are right or wrong, or you feel their calls are right or wrong. There's absolutely no sense to it. It just doesn't make sense. In this instance, the umpires were unsafe. The administration at Volcano Vista High School failed the umpires. All right. And now that the NMA has concluded their investigation, I'm free to talk about it on this show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm not going to discuss the exact ejections for this game, but I will tell you all the ejections that happened were behavior issued. And what I mean by behavior issued, they violated a rule with using vulgar language during a baseball game. That's all I'm going to say. Had nothing to do with any particular calls, had nothing to do with any particular plays. It only had to do with behavior. And they were disqualified from the game based on their behavior. Now, unfortunately, the coach, great coach, really good guy, the head coach could not control these guys. It's a culture in that area for some reason. The fans lost their cool. The fans lost every sense of humanity that there was. And the administration at that school, the athletic director in particular, would not keep these umpires safe and these officials safe. I will tell you, the whole membership of that community has indicated to me they will not go to Volcano Vista High School until they feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't understand what fans and stuff, what actually loses your mind enough at a game, a sporting event, that you want to attack umpires?
I don't get it.
Do you realize they're a dad next door, they're an uncle to somebody, they're a son to somebody, they're a father, and they're a community person in your community that's taking time out to umpire your kid's game. And they're not with their family. It's asinine. It's asinine behavior. And it has to stop. And I'm afraid to say this, as a leader in this industry, in this craft, maybe it's going to take 0 umpires at your sporting events to send a message. And you know what? The administration, most of our administration in these schools are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, this administration failed these officials in this particular instance. But I will tell you, I've been dealing with a lot of administration in Albuquerque. Most of you guys are awesome. Great people. And, I've dealt with, Albuquerque Public Schools, the administration with their fantastic people. Fantastic. But this particular administration failed our officials on multiple occasions this season. And that's where it starts. Until the administration gets a backbone and keeps our officials safe at any sport, because I know you guys have had problems at other sports as well, just not baseball.
And that's the thing. It just keeps trickling down to everything. It's sad. It really is, that it comes to that. But, in other parts of the country and stuff like that, especially when it's with school sports and stuff like that, you have an officer assigned to the school, and you have an officer that goes to those events and has access to different things to keep stuff under control and keep things in control. But you don't see that happening. You don't see that. There's no accountability. I saw it on the news at first, and I was just like dumbfounded by it. I was like, how does a kid go after an umpire? And then
just not an umpire, but
all you gotta do is watch the video.
Going after an authority figure and an adult. And like I said on the news in that interview, and they're like, why does this happen? Because these young people have no fear for consequence with authority figures.
And then you know what the worst part about it? If that umpire defended himself, he'd be the one in jail for violating a minor's rights.
Exactly.
And, the biggest thing that stuck out to me on that thing is some mother screaming at her kid, don't do it. You got a scholarship. Get out of there. Stop doing that. And you could clearly hear it. And it didn't seem like he really cared, because the mother kept yelling about the scholarship. So I'm like, what does it take? What does it take? Is this what's going to be going?
I mean, based on that, and too, what some people don't know about is after that incident on camera that you watched, the umpire walked over to the fence to retrieve his water and his car keys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his car keys were there, because otherwise he would have just walked away and left the water bottle.
Yeah.
But as he was doing that, he was getting spit on by moms.
These are grown people. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting the way that these things are happening. I mean, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are. It's just a lack of respect for everything and anyone. You know, it doesn't really matter nowadays for people. You can't teach it. There's no respect. There's no fear. A lot of these places that, you know, they got a revolving door.
You know what's going to take? It's going to take a penalty of the offending people must umpire or officiate that sport for one game and see what it's like.
Or costing little Tommy his scholarship and everything else. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know a person's
I guarantee you, if any colleges watched that video, and I'm sure there was, I'm sure that video has been presented to some people that have gotten scholarships or offered scholarships, and I guarantee you they're not gonna have that at their.
Nobody wants a troublemaker. Nobody wants that spark that's gonna, you know, ignite something that they don't want to be ignited. They don't want it. I mean, we saw it in sports for a long time where these guys were getting locked up for this and abuse and that and all kinds of stupid things. And nobody wants that. Nobody cares to have you if you're going to create chaos. You're just not worth it. So to watch a kid do it and think that he's above all that, you know, that kid has a surprise coming.
The umpire turned to the athletic director and said, "Hey, why don't you control this crowd?" And the athletic director's reply back to the umpires, "Why don't you worry about your game?"
Yeah, that, you know, at that point, you know, because you know that NMA, whatever that does that association for them, the first thing I would do is like, you know what? As long as you're in power, none of our officials are going to be there. If you cannot guarantee their safety, no, you're not. We're not going to do it. And I mean,
every single umpire in that association has indicated to me, because I'm the assigner.
Yeah,
has indicated to me we're blocking Volcano Vista High School.
Period.
At all levels.
Yeah. No. We know there's multiple
Unless
levels.
Something changes, like I said earlier, if something changes that guarantees their safety at that facility, they are not going to that facility.
Period. And
how am I to argue that? I can't certainly say, "Oh, you're going to have to."
No, you do your part.
Put their lives at risk.
Maybe at some point, you know.
And then I don't even know if that's going to work, Bill. I don't know if no officials umpiring at that facility is going to work.
No. Well, I mean, it's going to take little Tommy's ability to showcase what he has. Nobody's going to touch them. You know what's going to happen? Kids are going to try and get into other school districts. That's what people are going to do. They're going to try and move. My little Tommy's a great baseball player because everybody's little Tommy's great. So little Tommy now is going to have to go to another school, and now they're going to have to finagle that. But if little Tommy already has a bad reputation, what coach is going to have him?
Well, I mean, that particular school, those players lost their cool in 2 other games this year.
Yeah, because I heard something about a 2-strike rule that basically will wipe them out.
Has done. NMAA has issued 2 strikes to the school.
Okay.
One is to the program, athletic program, baseball, and the other is to the spectators. So if the spectators get another strike in this carries over to 2025. If the spectators get another strike, there will be no spectators at any games for that season.
Good. Doesn't mean anything's going to change, but good. Now you can go see your kid play.
Well, they're going to find loopholes, right? They're going to park around in the outfield. You know, they're going to find some kind of loopholes that they can watch that game. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Here in Arizona, me and my partner, we cleared a whole stands. And they wind up down the left field line, down the right field line, you know, and all that stuff. And we just talked about, well, listen, we hear any barking from those lines, well, we're going to tell the administration clear the facility.
Period.
Because if they're not off the facility, then they're trespassing.
Yeah. Well, you hope that these facilities have a backbone, and that's the thing.
That's the problem. See, this athletic director did not, in this instance, did not.
Yeah. You know, but what I would hope would happen is if they do have the strike 2 rule and and these kids can't play and they're done for the season, I would hope that the school district, as you know, would be accountable to make sure that these kids aren't allowed to switch schools, to go to another school, to be part of another
transfer
baseball
portal like
yeah.
college.
Yeah, exactly. You know, get in trouble with one school, go to another. You would hope that they wouldn't be allowed to do that, because, you know, then you're just putting a Band-Aid. Now you're going to have
Well, you know, here's the thing too.
Mhm.
Even if they do get transferred, if they get transferred to a stronger school that takes care of their business, you know, and I know, I would say 99%, and this particular school is the 1%. 99% of the schools that we deal with in Albuquerque area, they take care of our officials.
Yeah.
And they make sure, you know, they're protected, or they get escorted to the field, get escorted to their cars. I mean, when you get spit on, getting your water and your keys from the fence line over there, and they're spitting through the net onto the official, and then following them to their cars, and these officials don't feel safe enough to get out of their gear. Home plate umpire has to get in his car, in his gear, and drive 20 miles to be able to get, because they couldn't drive anywhere close, because obviously, you know, they're going to go after this game and go eat someplace. So they go to a restaurant parking lot, or go to, you know, somebody might go shopping in that area and recognize them, whatever it is. So they had to make sure they were out of that area
and safe. Yeah. It's not right. It's not a good thing. It's not a good look for the school itself. Definitely not a good look for kids, you know, to see that kind of behavior. It's kind of disturbing, because, you know, you see it every day in the news, you know, 17-year-olds committing murder, 17-year-olds attacking people, you know, and thinking that it's funny because what happens?
Well, I mean,
they're a minor. It's okay.
Look at the waste management, how these people were acted to, you know, in the stands and towards the golfers and the golfers. Probably for his first time in my golf career, I ever seen a golfer had to interact in a negative way to a fan. In that manner, and how they reacted. You know, we asked, hey, do you really have to do that? Can you know, keep it down? You know, because, you know, when they go wayward and they have people closer to them than they typically do, you know, they ask, you know, hold the cameras, whatever case may be. Typically, caddies are dealing with that. But when you see a golfer that really it turns around and interacts in a negative way, it's just our society today, and they think there's a sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
and there's no entitlement. The only thing entitled you're to do, watch the damn game and enjoy your kid playing. That's the only entitled thing you're to, you know. You're not entitled to bark at referees or about calls or anything like that. That's not entitlement. That's asinine.
Yeah. Well, something hopefully will change in the future. We'll hope they'll eliminate that 1%. You know what I mean? We can only hope.
How I see it is this way. We see signs all over the place and nationally on social media that are viral that says coaches are human, umpires are human, players are human. The calls will be made mistakes. Enjoy your kid playing baseball, right? We see those type of signs.
Yep.
How I see it, shut your mouth. That's all I got to say.
Good luck.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is, you know, administration, be better. Make sure your officials are protected if there's chaos going on. You know, just make sure that these guys and gals get off the field in a safe manner and get on the field in the same way. And you know, in baseball, we're not supposed to be engaging with the fans, but when the administration doesn't do their job and take care of it, well, it has to be taken care of.
Somebody has to do it.
So
it's terrible.
I'm Big John Quick, and that's how I see it. Be right back right after this. Where's my mouse? There it is.